Myself and Aaron do a lot of work in mental health. I work with a lot of people that suffer with anxiety and depression, and one thing that we both know is social media, if you don't control your social media properly, it can make mental health issues like depression, anxiety and things like that far, far worse than they already are. One thing that I impress upon my clients is that all social media is controlled by us. So you control your social media, what you see, what you follow, the people that you interact with is in your control. But there's a lot of people that talk about social media as if it's this separate entity, as if it is its own thing and it is bad for people. I don't see it like that, because I have clients that will say, oh, such a person posts this kind of content, whether it's someone that's in the process of going through a weight loss journey and they follow someone that consistently posts pictures of themselves and they look fantastic, and it makes them feel bad, makes them feel like they're not getting anywhere, makes them feel like the progress that they've made so far is shit. And I say, well, why do you follow them? If you consistently see something that makes you sad on social media, or it pisses you off, you disagree with it, just unfollow that person, block that page, and then you can't see it anymore. And that is something that I don't understand with people. People seem to refuse to do that. They act like it isn't a controllable environment, and it is completely controllable. I do that all the time. Almost every day I go on Facebook, and if you unfriend people or block people on Facebook, normally later that day or the day after, Facebook will pop up a message in your newsfeed to explain to you what happens when you unfriend someone or when you block someone. With me, I unfollow people that regularly that pops up almost every single day. And that's because if I see anything that I don't want to see, I make sure that I don't see it anymore. It's literally that simple. I don't care whether it's a friend, and I have people that are acquaintances in the gym, actual friends that I went to school with. I'll unfriend them. I'll even block them. And it's to control that environment, because your mindset is going to be controlled by that which you introduce yourself to on a regular basis. And probably everybody in this room is the same. You're on your phone all day, you'll be scrolling all day, so you're seeing it over and over and over and over and over again. And I was speaking with Aaron before, and he said the same thing. You need to make a big effort to control what you actually see.
I think the problem that we are surrounded by within society is we are succumbed to these social norms on social media. Everything that is on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, makes you believe and creates this ethos that you have to look and be like exactly what you see on social media. I think we are put into a position whereby we try so hard to try and fight against what we believe in ourselves and who we are as people and what we find important in our life and aspects that we believe in, that perhaps other people don't agree with, and we start changing them to try and adapt and be accepted by that social norm. I work with hundreds of young people in the north of Devon, particularly with the NCS programme, and the amount of times that I hear people do it. People get on social media and they like stuff and they post stuff, and they are on social media purely to receive gratification from people, and they're on social media to make sure that everyone else out there is pleased or is satisfied with how they are looking or how they are doing or how they are being. And I think that's where I would like to come from today, and what my angle is on social media. Why do we, it's a question to everyone to think about, why do we try and fit into a norm that perhaps we don't fit into? But that's okay. That's okay to not fit into that social norm. It's okay not to be a size 0, wearing a sparkly bikini every weekend, getting on stage, competing. We had this discussion earlier about young females in particular, getting on stage to compete purely because they think that's what they need to do. It's a new experience. I'm doing this for the experience. I'm doing this because there's another 1,000 girls on Instagram that I follow that are doing it. So that must mean that this is what I have to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So why are we doing that? So just a question that I want to put forward to everyone is, think about why we're doing that. And young men as well. You know, I think we're in an industry as well where at the minute fitness in young men, 16, 17-year-olds to about 25, 26, maybe even 30. Again, we're pressurised into being muscular, Herculean looking, this size, that size. Eat 8 meals a day. It must be chicken and rice and veg and nothing else. You must have 5 protein shakes a day. Because this is what we're seeing. This is what we're succumbed to on social media. I think more so on Instagram, would everyone agree? I think Instagram is the biggest platform for that. Facebook perhaps not so much. But I think Facebook does become an issue then when you start getting on these groups. So a lot of people here are probably part of the Gym Outcast family on Instagram, on Facebook. There's other groups out there that do the same thing. And again, people are posting gratification pictures all the time. And I think, again, young men are inspiring to be like this, and perhaps that isn't what they are destined to be. But they change their whole lifestyle and outlook to be like that. And I think we completely agree that that is quite a big issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Because one of the main things that people don't seem to have anymore is an identity. Or at least they don't know what their identity is. And that's why you get people that will adopt the identity of other people that they follow. So people go into the fitness thing because they'll see that there's a lot of people within the fitness life that have got a lot of followers. So if you've got a lot of followers, you get a lot of validation. You're getting a lot of likes, you're getting a lot of comments, people share your content. So they're accepted by people. And people's main thing is that they want to be accepted, they want to be liked. And that is what draws them into it. But you never feel comfortable because that isn't genuinely what you want to do. That isn't what you personally identify as. So it's like trying to, you are square and you're trying to force yourself into a round hole, and it just doesn't work. But people will continue to do it over and over and over again until they get to the point where they break mentally, and then they have to remove themselves from it. And you need to focus on what you are actually interested in. And if you want to be accepted, that's fine, but be accepted for what you are and not what you think is accepted or is acceptable.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, as a coach within fitness, I prep a lot of people for contests, and I have so many girls come to me, I want to do a competition. And I ask them all one question: why? And I don't put anything else other than why, question mark. And most of them can't answer me because they haven't got a genuine reason for why they want to do it. They just think, well, it's cool.
Go back to what Andy just said there about the adapting to sort of fit in, putting a circle into a square. I mean, that does actually fit, so let's put the square into the circle. Square into the circle, we can't get it in. So, and because of social media changing all the time, we can go from one month to another where trends are up and down like a roller coaster. One month it's cool to wear leggings. I wore them this morning. A month ago that was cool. This morning I got an absolute beasting from Rich when I turned up in leggings, so I took them off. Yeah, so that's Instagram.
Train naked?
Eh?
Did you train naked?
Well, I put other shorts on.
They was driving.
Eh? So yeah, the trends are changing all the time. And where for me mental health comes in, and the issues that surround mental health, anxiety, depression, and being succumbed to an environment that isn't what you need to be in, comes when that changes happen. The up and down roller coaster. One month it's cool, so everyone adapts to that one thing. Then 3 or 4 weeks later, someone will do something else that everyone jumps on board again, and another bandwagon starts. And therefore someone jumps from where they were before, which was deemed okay and acceptable, and I was receiving loads of credit for what I was doing here, I was getting praise, people were loving my posts. Now I'm doing the same thing, and I'm not getting the likes, I'm not getting the comments, I'm not getting the shares, I'm not getting the love hearts emojis, etc, etc. And so the mental health shift is a massive change from where I was before to where I am now. And I feel like that is what's happening. I observe very carefully on Instagram with clients, customers, people that are associated with the mental health muscle crew group, and every post changes. One week I look at one post and they're wearing this or they're doing this. The next week it's the complete opposite. And actually neither of these two characters that you saw within the space of 7 to 10 days are actually what this person is really about. So the first one was adapting to a norm that isn't them. Or they made a vegan post. We were talking about this earlier. So we've got a meat eater, a real carnivore. All of a sudden on Instagram, everyone's a bloody vegan. Yeah? So automatically that person starts putting up vegan posts. And they're succumbing to that norm. That's what it needs to be. So everyone at the minute loves vegan posts. I'm going to hashtag vegetarianism. I'm going to hashtag vegetarianism, whatever. Hashtag vegan. And then next week, Someone else posts something about being paleo. Oh shit, paleo, that's cool. I'll go over to paleo. So I'm hashtagging paleo the next week. And they're telling people about the diet they're on, and what they're following, and how this person that they've become, because they're now a vegan and they're animal rights and all this stuff. And then the next week they're paleo, and then munching on beef burgers 24/7. Yeah? But that's the same person, but neither of which are actually who that person is in here, and who that person is in here. This is shifting from A to Z all the time. And actually that person probably doesn't know where they are on that scale at any one time. But they are succumbing and they're being influenced heavily by the social media platform that they're on. And I think we can all relate to that. That happens.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to what I was saying about controlling what you see.
Yeah.
And the reason why, of all of the social media platforms, if I could only use one, I would only use Instagram, because it is the most controlled as far as what you're going to see in your newsfeed, as well as in your explore page. Because you'll all know, if you hit that search, the search bar comes up at the top, but then there's an endless stream, an endless feed. The algorithms of Instagram, based on the pages that you follow, the pages that people that you follow, things that you comment on, things that you like, that is what your explore page is created with. So if you are seeing things in that again is either makes you question what you're doing now, or makes you question what it is that you really want to do, or it's something that, like I said before, upsets you, being distracted by a little bit. No. That is the sort of thing you need to control, because what Aaron was saying then really comes into what I was saying about your identity. People don't know what their identity is, they just know that they want to be accepted. And that's why one minute you're a vegan, then you do paleo, and then you're doing something else, and then you're doing something else. But people aren't going to like your stuff anymore because there's no consistency. That's one of the best things that you can do. Find out what it is that you actually like doing and just consistently post about that. And the longer you do, the more people that like the same things as you will come to you. But if you're constantly changing from one thing to another, to another, to another, it's inconsistency. And that puts people off. I mean, this is one thing that I go through with all clients, and this is an actual question for you to interact with. Raise your hand if you've ever posted a picture or a video and you've deleted it because it didn't get enough likes. Come on, John. And that's it. The thing is,
If I get likes, I'm like, oh well.
No, if it doesn't get over 5, it's gone.
the thing, see how much of a reaction that was caused in the room then, and that's because half the people that put your hand up are genuine, and there was probably about the same again that wanted to put the hand up because they know they've done it, but you didn't want to do it because you know that it's not a good thing. And for me, there's some things that I've posted on my Instagram, if you scroll down and find it, it's got like 8 likes. But then there'll be other things that I've posted that have got like 150. But I've not deleted the thing that only got 8 because I haven't posted it for validation. I've not posted it so that somebody else is going to tell me that that is good content and it deserves to be there, because I've posted stuff before, videos, where it's just me chatting shit into my camera for an hour. And it might have only been liked by 5 or 6 people, but one of the people that have viewed it have messaged me and said, I needed to see that today. And that is why I will leave anything up that I post, whether it gets 1 like or 1,000 likes. I don't post it for that validation, I post it for the worth of the content. And that again, if you're consistent and you know what you're about, you know what your identity is, that goes away. I mean, have you ever hesitated before you posted something and thought, oh shit, has that got all the right hashtags? Is that going to get enough? Is that, you know, are enough people going to see it? What are people going to think if I say that? But what if somebody, who gives a fuck if someone doesn't like it? If somebody doesn't like your content, they don't have to follow you. Same way in reverse, you don't have to follow someone because, you know, if you don't like their content.
Yeah. So, exactly with that, think about the mental health aspects that come out of that exact conversation. So why do we post in the first place? Okay, so we've got hormones that run in our bodies. So we're talking about dopamine. We all feel dopamine release at some point in our day-to-day lives. That is the feel-good. That's the whole loving something and getting a mint sensation out of doing something. The reason that we do social media and that we post on social media and that we seek gratitude and seek likes and comments from people is to give us that boost of dopamine. Okay? We follow game theory. Those are in here on Sega Mega Drives. Shit, that's old. PlayStations, Xboxes. I used to play Sonic because I freaking loved Sonic. And I knew that every time I played Sonic, he made me feel like I was Hercules. Or that I was living on cloud 9 and that my world was great. I had Knuckles to my side and Squirrel to my left and it was mint. Okay? And I got dopamine from it and that's why I kept playing it. Okay? I don't do games anymore, but those of you that do, COD, Call of Duty, FIFA, why do we play them? Because they make you feel good. And that's the same theory that follows on social media. We post, we seek likes, we seek gratification because it makes us feel good. And then we've got serotonin, which comes alongside that. Serotonin reflects what we perhaps feel like in terms of conquering the world. The reason you get up in the morning is because of the serotonin release. The reason that you want to go and take on challenges and kick ass today is because of the serotonin release. On social media, when someone says, fuck, you look great, mate, serotonin is released alongside dopamine. When all these chemicals are flowing around in you and your mental health is perhaps not in a good place, all of a sudden things are okay. Dopamine's high, serotonin's high, maybe oxytocin's high because your boyfriend or girlfriend's behind you telling how good your ass looks. Okay, so all these things at the same time whilst you're scrolling through your phone, you might be having a meal with your family, hormones are rushing up and you feel great. And then tomorrow you put a post up and someone says, this is a wank picture. All of a sudden, that dopamine, serotonin all reduces and falls drop to the floor. Okay? So that is the whole cycle of social media. We do things to give us a boost. You might not think about it, you might not post it and go, I really want some dopamine in a few hours' time, so I'm going to post this picture. And hopefully more than 10 people will like it. If they do, I know I'm going to feel alright about it. But no one might like it. But the question I'm putting to you is, why are you seeking people to like shit in the first place? You're all individuals, you're all human beings, you've all got views, you've all got opinions. Regardless of your state of mind, or where your well-being is at that moment in time, the only people that you should be trying to please is yourself. If you want to put a fucking picture up, you put it up. And if no one likes it, then that's their issue. But you love that picture because that's why you put it up. You want people to see that picture. But we are all influenced so heavily by the feedback and comments and opinions of other people. And that is because when we get them, it makes us feel shit. And so in order to change that situation, we want people to like things and increase that serotonin, increase that dopamine. Who loves chocolate in here? Everyone, put your hand up. Yes. Okay, we eat chocolate because it gives you a good feeling. Otherwise, no one would struggle with prep. Yeah, we feel shit when we're prepping. Who's prepping in here? Who has prepped? You know the feeling when your sugar's down at an all-time low. Yeah? You can't wait to finish prep and get off stage. And what do? Go and eat loads of sugar. Well, that's what I would do, but I've never prepped, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm guessing that's what happens. You eat loads of yummy food because it makes you feel good. Because for the last 12 weeks you felt like shit. Because all you've been eating is rice and fish. Or chicken or veg or... Yeah? Correct? What else do you eat in prep?
That's about it, though.
Glycomax.
Maybe the water.
Water.
So exciting.
Protein. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. So I just wanted to touch on hormones because I feel like, yes, we don't think about them during our day-to-day lives, but they are happening all the time.
Yeah.
And it's predominantly, mostly, in the gym that this happens. On the fitness industry, the gym industry on social media, I feel like that happens a lot.
I mean, that's it again, to bring it back to that validation point. How many of you follow someone and you'll see, even if it's someone that's famous, it's got like 3 million followers. I see this on a regular basis, especially in the fitness industry, and it shows the point that Aaron was just making about that want for acceptance really apparent. You will get someone that their picture might have 16,000 likes. It might have 300 comments, and it will be comments of people posting love hearts or talking about how good they look and lots of praise and comments. And you scroll down, and the person whose account you're on, who is receiving these comments, positive comments from people that are, giving them that validation that we all want, and they don't even like it. They've not liked any of the positive comments, and then one person posts a shit comment, and they reply back to them. They ignore everyone that's being positive, and the one person that they think, oh, he doesn't like me, why don't you fucking like me? And they'll argue with them. And they get into this, they're engaging with the one person that doesn't like them and ignoring the 300 that do. And it's because they're not grateful for what they have got. They're only interested in what they've not got. And the thing is that if that is the way that you control yourself, your mindset, if that's your perspective on life, you will never, ever, ever have enough. Ever. Because at one point, this person that's getting 15 to 20,000 likes on a picture really wanted to get a picture that had 200 likes. And they've now got that. They've now got that times 10. And they now only care about the people that aren't liking it. They only care about the people that don't like them. They only care about and focus on and reply to and interact with the people that don't like them. And that's because they're more interested in having more people like them and get more followers than the people that already do like them. Because it's like, right, well, you've already accepted this, I'm not bothered anymore. I care about what is next. And one of the things that I do with a lot of my mental health clients is I get them to do a gratitude list. Every morning before they do anything, or when they're having their breakfast, they like them to get up, and I don't give them any direction with it at all when they first start doing this. But I tell them to get up and write down a list of everything that they're grateful for in their life. And at first I used to be really surprised at the fact that I'd get people that, and I'd say, how many things did you get on your list this morning? They'd be like, 4. You've only got 4 things in your life that you're grateful for. And the first thing that they do is tell me about all the things that they're not happy with. They don't focus on the things that they're actually grateful for. They're like, oh, I've not got anything to be grateful for because this happened and that happened and that happened and this person does this and I've not got enough money. It's just like, right, okay, and I'll leave them for about a week to 2 weeks with this list to see how much it grows over that time period, to see if they can kind of clear their own vision, to see all the different things that they've got in their life that they have to be thankful for and actually be grateful for. And a lot of them don't. It doesn't grow until I highlight the points and say, right, well, run me through your day. Where did your day start? Where did you wake up? In bed. Right, so you woke up in bed, yeah. Are your bed sheets clean? Yeah. Is it comfy? Yeah. What was your head resting on? A feather pillow. And what were you covered with? A feather duvet. Right. Was that clean? Yeah. And what did you do after that? I got up and I went and had a shower. Was the water warm? Yeah. Did you brush your teeth afterwards? Yeah, right. So you've got a toothbrush and toothpaste. You obviously have a fucking house. You've got a comfortable bed with clean bedding on it. Were you walking on broken floorboards or were you walking on a nice comfy carpet? Yeah, comfy carpet, right. Well, that's another thing that can go on the list. And before you went to work, did you get dressed? Yeah, were your clothes clean? Yeah. And before you went to work, did you eat breakfast? Yeah, where did you get your breakfast from? My fridge. Was your food off? Was it in there? Yeah, it was in there. Right, cool. How did you cook it? In the microwave, on the hob. And this kind of, as I'm going through this, I started thinking, oh yeah, I've actually got loads to be grateful for. And I say to them, if you actually think your life is as bad as you make out, when that is the way that your day goes, you then get into a car and you drive to work, you go into an office, you know, you're not outside. If your day is that bad, go and find a homeless person tonight. Sit down with them and tell them about how bad your life is. Tell them about that picture on Instagram that only got 8 likes.
Yeah, I'll give you a stat. So 92% of our 24-hour day, as I've taken in 2017, March last year, 92% of the population of the UK are on their phone between 10 and 12 hours a day. Now 8 of those 10 to 12 hours are on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. Imagine a world without a social media platform.
But do you not think people need reminding that, so you might have 3,000 friends on Facebook, 3,000 followers on Instagram. They are not your friends. You do not personally know them. You do not personally face-to-face interact with them. They don't know your family. They might not know what your real job is, your other hobbies. So if they don't like your picture, how is that ever going to actually directly affect your life today?
Yeah, it's
you
a great
don't know
question.
these people,
No.
so who gives a flying fuck about your picture?
But because of the platform and the environment that we are all in, you believe that their opinions, everyone's opinion is a valid opinion. And absolutely you're right. There are people out there with 50,000, 60,000, 100k, more thousand followers. Yeah? And they are probably maybe a tenth of those people know them who they are, maybe met them once or twice at Body Power or something of the sort. But each one of those opinions is as important as each other. And I'm not saying that is how it should be. I think absolutely not. I don't give a 2 hoots. The only opinion that I care about is my best friends and my wife.
I was going to say, if your best mate says to you that,
yeah,
then
that's cool. Because he knows me, he probably knows that I've grafted my ass off for the last 10 weeks in the gym for a reason. And you look good, mate. Thanks, mate.
But people do need to remember, it's not
Absolutely.
life. It's not real life. These people have got sodom to do with your life.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
It's a question. I mean, who could answer it? Who could answer that
But
question?
it
Go.
stems more from self-hatred. I know it sounds really stupid, but if you don't genuinely like yourself, you can't look in the mirror without thinking, that's fucking disgusting. And then a bunch of people on Instagram go, you're really hot today, you need that. Because otherwise you don't go from the mirror to outside, you don't leave your house, you sit there and judge yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of support, although it's mostly negative, there's a bit of positive that comes out of it.
And in your opinion, is that doesn't matter who that view is from?
Literally
That's
doesn't
right.
matter who the
That's
fuck
right.
liked it,
You
as
are-
long as someone did.
But then you set your stall out, you put yourself out there to invite negativity as well as positivity. So why would you do that to yourself? If you think, well, I'm not bothered actually, and you're secure enough in your own mind to think that you're not bothered, then fine, put your pictures out there. But the minute you put something on a public domain, you are inviting negativity as well as positivity, so you better be able to handle it.
But it's
Because
true,
otherwise,
it just
why put
depends on
yourself?
your mental
You
state.
wouldn't, but you wouldn't walk into, if you were in a pub and there was an argument going on, you wouldn't think, oh, I'm going to join in on that, I'm going to get in on that fight. It's got nothing to do with you. But you were then going into a negative situation, which you don't necessarily want
But
to
you
do.
can sort of. I can't
It's
remember
a
the
double-edged
word.
sword, like.
You can avoid it in a way. Like I have a lot of followers on Instagram, but if I get someone that's going to be negative on every post, I block them because I'm like, I don't need you.
So you've got the
So
strength,
I only-
you've got the strength of mind to be able to do that.
Yeah. If there's a bad, I'm like, okay, well clearly you've got something going on. For you to come on here and hate at me, you can go deal with your own shit because it's not like that. But it still makes you feel good from the likes. You've just got to take away that every person that says something negative about your body and what you're putting out there is because they're hating themselves. That's not your fault. They're hating on themselves, so they're going to go, well, you look shitter than me today.
But there are people who don't understand that, you know, if you're putting that picture up for likes, you've got to accept the other side of it as well. So are you mentally strong enough to cope with that?
I agree. I think both
You
points
know,
are
that's
completely
where
valid.
Facebook and Instagram does.
I think this is where, for me, the mental health aspect of social media is at its heaviest. Because, like you said, mate, exactly right. You are a double-edged sword. You are in a bad place, per se, for example. You put something on Instagram or on Facebook to try and boost your confidence and to try and boost the position that you're in. You want that boost of something good in you, just to give you that little bit of kick. As human beings, we always try and seek the best out of things. This is certainly my experience. I post stuff because I'm hopeful, and it might be too hopeful at times, but I'm hopeful that a few people that I know or may not know are going to say something good about that post. They're going to give me a little bit of something that I might need. Now, I don't suffer with mental health issues. I'm fucking passionate about it, but I don't. So I've never been in that position myself where I've been in such a position where I need that. But I work with lots of people, exactly what you're saying, who do that for that reason. And they are trying to seek something good that may be something so minor, so insignificant to everyone else, that gives them that kick to get on with the day and actually get through that day. I've got people that I work with that don't leave the front door for work, which is round the corner, because they're in a position whereby they can't get out of bed. But perhaps when they're in bed, someone calls and says, just saw your post on Instagram, mate. Really good post, that. Oh, mint, I've got shoes on now, I'm going to work. And it honestly is, as ridiculous as it sounds, and I hate that word because it's derogatory, it's not a good word, but it is a ridiculous theory that something so simple can give you that boost to literally change your mindset for that day.
I think it's a sad world we live in.
It absolutely is.
You know, if you
There's
don't
nothing
have
we-
that sort of validation from a stranger.
But from a mental health point of view, if it is ridiculous, but on any average day, even if you take out social media, some days I can leave my house and go to the shop and it's not an issue. Some days I'll get to my front door and I'll throw up. I can't leave my house. I can't because everyone's looking at me, and it makes you feel so shit and so stuck when you are that putting one photo up that people see you look like a happy social person makes you feel a bit closer to normal, and it makes you feel better.
Brings you back to normality.
It's bad, but
So you use that as your contact with the outside world?
Yeah,
rather than
like
going
I
out
don't
to the
leave my
outside world?
house without I physically can't do it at the moment, but I have 3,000 followers on Instagram and I post like 6 times a day, and it's bad and it's shit and it's negative, but it's my outside moment.
So do you let that out to other people though? Do you admit on your Instagram or anything else that this is why you're doing it, so that other people can then say, blimey, yeah, fair play, I agree?
I do and I don't. I don't openly post like that anymore. I used to, but you get so much negative feedback that it wasn't worth it to me. It was making me worse. But there are people that I follow, like there's like a bipolar Barbie girl on Instagram.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She posts everything about everything she does, and you can message people like that, and they keep in contact with you. So it's not out on social media. No one can see it, but you still have different contacts.
So it goes along the same thing we've had all day. People generally have a fear of being honest.
Yeah,
On
but you
social
don't
media,
get
on anything like that.
anything
On
but
mental health, on
negativity.
everything we discussed today. Food, diet, prep, peds, mental health. There's such a lack.
I think if we had another hour, another 3, no, absolutely not. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Andrew and I were very, very conscious that our words and our seminar today encouraged you guys to talk. I think talking is the thing that we don't do enough. We don't talk about these issues enough. And I think it's great that you're interacting. And if you want to continue doing that after the seminar, I think it's great. Have that discussion. Get that out there. But I'll give you a quick example just before we close. We've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Well, you can have 20 minutes.
Oh, fab. So we're not closing. But I will give you an example. So yesterday, I had messages from a lot of people on Instagram. People that don't know me, they just see my Instagram page, the Mental Health Muscle page, and they DM me, say, can't wait for tomorrow's event. Really looking forward to tomorrow's event. I'll be there. I'm coming from Norwich, I'm coming from Newcastle. Where? So on. 4 of them this morning, I can't make it today. Why can't you make it today? Is everything okay? I can't get out of bed. I've hit a wall. My anxiety's got the better of me. And I think it really is as real as that. Yesterday they were buzzing, cars packed, bags are packed. Everyone on social media is saying, where are you going tomorrow? They say, I'm going to Shrewsbury, can't wait. I'm going to lift some out of stones, fuck yeah. And then today, 3 hours before the event starts, I haven't even left my bed. How far are you away? 4 hours, I'm not going to be able to make it. Because they haven't got out of bed. Because something wasn't quite right last night or this morning. They've gone to bed feeling mint, the peak, talk about it again, the roller coaster. They were up here last night. Now they've gone to bed, they've slept on it, maybe spent most of the night on their phone because they can't sleep, they're restless, they're worried about today, they're excited about today, they're anxious about today, they're shit scared of seeing people they don't know tomorrow, but they're excited at the same time. It's all gone crazy overnight and they woke up this morning and they've hit a wall. I don't know anybody in here that perhaps can relate to that.
I understand it.
Yeah.
The British finals, the UKBF last year, October, I had to take.
Yeah, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, well.
I never messaged you to find out.
Well, the day before, like you said, I was on a massive fire. I was meant to be travelling up with somebody, and then I was looking on the Instagram of other people that were competing on that day. Richard was there, and a few other people. Obviously, I'd come out of my prep, and I'm in the off-season mode, fat and all this, and I'm thinking, I can't go there, I don't look in shape anymore. So I was thinking, should I go, should I not go? And in the end, I thought, no, fuck it, I'm not going. So I ordered a pizza, stayed at home. Next day, my mate rang me up and said, are you still on? I made an excuse, he said, I can't do it. I didn't want to go, because it was the conscience of like, I'm not going to fit in. But the day before, I was like, yeah, I'm on, I can't wait. Going to see Rich, going to see other people in the morning, made an excuse to stay at home.
A perfect example. Perfect example. And that happens all the time.
Where are you guys up to?
Got
Sorry
maybe
to
5,
jump in.
10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
I just want to finish on some mindfulness stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So, mindfulness, who's heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so mindfulness, massive things that I do with the people that I work with, particularly the young people, and how we can assess ourselves. And relating to social media, the most predominant thing that I advise people to do and encourage people to do, again, especially young people, is to come away from social media. The best form of mindfulness for me is to come off a social media platform. I don't mean logging off and deactivating your account.
And then announcing it before you do.
yeah. Take the whole
Everybody give a fuck, tell me that you don't absolutely.
I think it's really important that That time before bed. So I would what's the saying? Guess your bottom's dollar. That before bed we're all like this at some point. Yeah? So we don't put our phones in the spare room, which is across the other side of the house at 7 a.m. and don't sit 7 p.m. and don't look at it again until 8 a.m. the next morning. It's probably by your bedside. It's probably flashing off all the time. Texting, Instagram, checking what's going on before you hit the sack. Yeah? The best form of mindfulness is to put all that in the trash. Get rid of that section of your evening. Get rid of that situation that you put yourselves in. Be mindful of the day that you've had and reflect upon the day that you've had. Too many people finish their day on here.
Yeah.
Yeah? We're all sceptical to it. I do it last night. I did it last night. I rang Rich at 9:30 last night.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Not just because I love him, but because of all the fucking hard work and stuff for the event today. And he told me 6 hours before that everything was sorted, but I still rang him because this social media, oh, Rich is in the gym, I'll ring him and see if everything's alright. But it was fine. 5 hours ago it was fine. So what's changed, Aaron? Nothing. Everything's still okay. Yeah? But I'm stuck to this. We're all stuck to our phones. We don't leave them. We don't put them down for enough time. And if you're going to do that, and I encourage everyone to do that, the time to do it is in the evening. Because actually for a lot of us, we depend on these during our day-to-day lives. Work, connections, emails, communications, whatever. But in the night time, when you're not working, you don't need to be on here. Yeah? If you don't post, or you don't like someone's post, or you don't DM someone back, you are not going to die. And the world is not going to end. And you're not going to be bombarded by a fucking zombie apocalypse in the midnight. In the middle of the night. Pardon?
Can you
I
promise?
can't promise. But I would like to say that it's, that's the case.
Yeah, that's one thing that is a really good method to start becoming more self-aware.
Totally.
And aware of what is actually negatively impacting you. If you take some time at the end of the day and go through your day, think about what your mood was like at different times of the day, what have I done, where have I been, who have I interacted with, what interaction have I had on social media, what pages have I seen, what have I seen that pissed me off, what have I seen that made me happy, what have I seen that made me sad. And if you go through and you actually start creating a day-by-day logbook of the things that you've done regarding social media or in your personal life, actually going out and being around people, start creating a logbook, the same as people do with training, the same as people do with the diets, and you create a logbook so that over time you can look back and you can start to see that, when I did that, I was at my strongest, when I did that, I was at my slimmest, when I did that, I was shredded. You can do that with mental health, and you can a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you can start to look back and you're like, right, when I saw that page or that person posting, or I went to that shop, or I went here, I watched that TV programme, I listened to this radio station, I felt like shit on that day. And you can start to remove things from your day, and people from your day, people from your life, and things from social media. And it all comes back to that control. Being able to control your environment. So if you can pinpoint the specific people, it might just be a comment that someone makes that seems completely innocuous, and you might think, no, they didn't mean it like that. But if you can go back 4 weeks and you're like, hang on, every time I'm around her, she makes some snide, bitchy comment about something to do with the weight, something that you're wearing, something that you've done with your hair, anything. You know after a while that she's an arsehole and you need to stop speaking to her. And that is why keeping a log, just the mental health side of things, is good. There might be a TV programme, there might be something to do with the TV programme that you dislike. And every time you watch it, the day after, you have a shit day. If you watch it before you go to bed, you wake up in the morning and that is one of those days that you just think, I don't even want to get up.
Just to finish, I think the importance of everything that we've said, and another 100 things that perhaps we haven't mentioned today, is that for me, the times that you are more likely to expose yourself to negative things on social media, and the time that you are more than likely to think about those things and have them impact your life, is beginning of the day and the end of the day. So if you are doing social media in those time frames, I hugely, hugely recommend that you remove that negative stimulus from your day in those time zones. Particularly the one at night time. I can't emphasise that enough. I've been in mental health now for 12 years. I've mentored probably half a ton, 500 odd young people, 500 vulnerable adults. And the amount of people that come into a much better life and in a much better situation, state of mind, well-being, mental health, physical health, is when they remove shit from their life in the evening of their day. Yeah, it has a real impact, and there's a huge correlation between keeping your evening positive, which kind of like kickstarts your next day. The time that we think about the most stuff is when you're in bed, when the lights are off and it's pitch black, and your partner or your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend is asleep beside you. That's the time that you think about stuff. Yeah? When I was younger, I was quite sceptical to getting out of bed and writing shit down in a notepad downstairs in the kitchen. I used to leave it open because I knew probably about 2 a.m, 2:30, I'd come up with this master plan of how to solve Alzheimer's or something. So I'd run downstairs and write it down, write a fucking business plan. Because I was thinking about it, because before I went to bed, I was emailing someone about exactly that subject. So try and make your day end, in terms of social media, about 7, 8 at night. Anything past 9 o'clock, I would like to see people removing that phone, removing that social media from their lives. If you've got kids, enjoy your time with kids. Enjoy your time with your wife. Enjoy your time reading a book. Enough people don't do that anymore. I hate reading, but it is a really good thing. Do exactly what Andy just said there. Mindfulness, gratitude. Yeah? Take part in something, a breathing technique. Reflect on your day. Write down the 3 things of that day that really were awesome. Don't worry about the 10 things that were shit. Most of them probably coming off social media.
Yeah.
Write down the stuff that was good. You might have got a job promotion. You might have got to work and there was only 5 emails to respond to instead of 10. Tiny little things. And actually, again, they seem really, really simplistic. But for people that are suffering with mental health issues, those things become huge, huge impacts on their day. Be grateful and be gratituded. I'm going to make them. Be gratituded for the things you do have and the stuff that has happened rather than the stuff that hasn't. Or has made you feel like shit. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Thank you very much.